In our studios today are two people that I have been trying for months to get corralled, and we finally have lassoed them in, and they're kind of the dog whisperers of Atchison, the couple. If you don't know who I'm talking about, it's John and Tanna Ross. Welcome, both of you. It's great to have you here.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, okay, I have to hear about the new dog because Corporal Ross is the canine handler for our police department, and we have a brand new canine dog. And what's his name?
His name is Amarok, but we call him Rock for short. It's a whole lot easier.
Well, and I hear he's a little bit energetic.
He is extremely energetic. He's got a lot of puppies still in him. He's right at about 3 years old, but he thinks he's 6 months old. He's 100% all the time.
Well, okay, and he's from Sweden.
Yes, that's correct.
So I know I keep asking you, does he bark with an accent?
He does. He does. Sometimes he'll change it up, though. He likes to confuse us.
So he's born in Sweden, but he came to the United States as a puppy?
No.
What happens with this?
His training starts over in Europe. He went from Sweden to Germany. His training was over there until, maybe about 2 or a little past. And then the kennel we get him from, they import him from over there, bring him here. And then they continue their training until I go and train up with him until we.
Now, how do you bond with something? You know, I mean, the animals that I own or have are kind of bonded with me, but all of a sudden he's thrust into a whole new situation. How do you create that bonding process?
Well, definitely for the first 3 to 4 weeks, it's me constantly, and I'm the only one that goes around him as far as feeding and cleaning his kennel and working with him and everything else. And it's just a time-consuming thing. I hand-fed him for the first couple of weeks, and I still occasionally do that. And just over time, we'll start bonding together.
It's a time process, isn't it, John?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it just takes time. Whether you're in a relationship with a person or an animal, it takes some time together to get that bond created.
Absolutely, yeah. He's figuring out if he can trust me, and vice versa, and everything else. And the more we work together and the more time we spend together, and he'll be more comfortable, and as will I, with each other.
Now, he is trained. I was watching a special the other day, and it said, we don't know how sensitive a dog's nose is, but it's somewhere between 1,000 and 1,000,000 times more sensitive than ours. So he's trained to seek out all kinds of things, from drugs to...
Yeah, 4 different types of narcotics, as well as evidence search, meaning if something has a human scent on it that maybe somebody discards while they're running or something like that, he'll sniff that out as well.
But even if we have, heaven forbid, we have a catastrophe where something falls in, they can search out people as well. I know in after 9/11, there were dogs that were sent in.
Yeah. Those are primarily search and rescue dogs, but any dog, because of their senses are so much better than ours, would be able to hear, even the faintest breathing in something like that. So absolutely, he would benefit something like that.
They're just amazing animals, aren't
they?
Just amazing animals. And Tanna, I am so excited about what you're doing here, too, because we know you have an enormous hot spot in your heart for critters and animals and dogs and cats. And I understand you're getting a Friends of Animal Control program going?
Yes. Slowly getting that started up. We have 2 people on our board right now, Connie Hill and Melissa Gabe, and we're still looking for 1 to 2 more board members. Friends of Animal Control is there to support Atchison Animal Control and needs that I may have for the animals. And we're also starting up a feral cat trap neuter release type thing where we're helping people feed the feral cats, helping with spaying and neutering, so we're going to be trying to raise funds for that and cat food. And
see, I find that so interesting because I live out in the boonies, out in the country, and we have cats every once in a while that come, but we'll have cats show up that are just wild and you can't touch them or anything. But I had no idea that we had, you said there were colonies of feral cats living in the city, and probably abandoned buildings or...
Yeah, abandoned buildings, houses, they live down the pipes, sewers, drainers, things like that. when they're demolishing a lot of the houses that they're fixing up here around Atchison, we see an influx in cats that are being shoved out of these places where they're currently living. So that's problematic, but we don't have any ordinance for cats within the city limits, and most cities don't have those. And it's typically an issue for a lot of people in most cities. Cats do provide a good need, though.
Right, they're
Mice
they're
and
mice.
rats
They go after mice.
So we're just trying to get a program up and going to help the citizens, help the cats, and help everybody.
Yeah, well, and if you can neuter some of those cats, you're going to stop a lot of the growth as far as the colonies are concerned. And, you know, maintain the existing cats, but, you know, stop some of that growth that you're
Absolutely.
seeing. And you're on Facebook.
Yes.
I see you on Facebook with your critters all the time.
Yep, that's where I list everybody, and
Now, you mainly deal with dogs, right?
yes, animal control.
So animal control, you're not bringing in any other animals other than dogs as far as the kennel is concerned out there. That's primarily what you're doing, right?
Yes, just dogs within the city limits. I have 10 kennels for dog at large, vicious dogs, animal cruelty cases, with about 5 foster homes right now. The Humane Society also does dogs, but they'll do cats on a limited basis when they have room to do cats. So
Well, neat. Well, you need, I know one of the things you're looking at is with trying to get Friends of Animal Control up and going. You're wanting maybe some help from some of my listeners, maybe some donations, is that something that you guys are needing?
yes, for the Friends, we always are in need of puppy pads, just because I tend to get a lot of puppies, and right now I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 puppies.
Oh,
8
wow.
weeks and under.
Now, are they pretty easy to adopt out when they're puppies this time of year?
Puppies
Are
are
they?
always easier to adopt than older dogs.
Uh-huh.
They're the most returned back to a shelter. A lot of people don't realize the work it takes to get a puppy.
I think I realized that after the lab that we had, which was probably a closer relative of your dog Rock, Johnny, because she ate her way from the garage into our house via the sheetrock, and so between that and there was just an activity level that was unbelievable. That no matter how many times we threw the stick into the pond, Reggie would throw it, Mike would throw it, I would throw it. We ran out of energy throwing the stick, and she was still going, like the Energizer Bunny. So sometimes when you get puppies, you just don't realize that they are going to grow. They're really cute, but they don't always fit in with the family's needs. Is that
Absolutely. Each breed has their own personality through breeding. You have your hunting dogs, your working dogs, and you have your lazy dogs, and you have your mixed breeds that
have a little bit of everything? You just don't know.
You don't know. And we do a lot of DNA testing at the shelter.
Now, DNA testing to try to determine what breed it is?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you could do that.
A cheek swab just like a human. And you send it in to a veterinary college that's in Nebraska. And they send back the results with a certificate of the exact percentage of the primary parents to the grandparents, all the way down to what the mix is and what that percentage of the mix is, if it's not a purebred.
Which would be great if you're thinking about adopting and you want a very quiet dog or you want a hunting. That is, I had no idea you could do that. That is, well, I know you can do it with people now. There's swabs that you take and you can decide what country you came from and that type of thing. But
I mean, looks are very deceiving. You know, you look at a dog and the first thing a lot of people say is, oh, it's a pit bull or a pit mix. And we'll do a DNA test and it doesn't have any type of Staffordshire Terrier, American Pit Bull, American Bulldog, any of that in it. But yet it has the look because it may be a boxer mix or a coonhound mix.
Wow, that you see, you guys are not only the animal whisperers, you're also like CSI of Atchison, aren't you? That is cool. So tell us a telephone number, and I know you're working on a website, but you don't have that yet, right, Tanna? Okay.
People can find us on Facebook. They just do a search for Atchison Animal Control, Atchison, Kansas. We have about 3,500 fans on there now, and
we love it because you send we get to see different animals. everybody in our office are animal lovers. We big time animal lovers, and so we're watching you all the time on Facebook. Janice is like, "Ooh, did you see what Tanna's got up here now?"
Aww.
So we're watching you, which is neat. So even if you guys aren't thinking you want to have a puppy or an older dog, it's wonderful just to see what you're doing, because you guys are doing such wonderful things over there to try to help. I mean, you go above and beyond the description that you have as far as a city employee is concerned. You're always doing things to help.
Well, thank you. They mean a lot to me, and I won't let anything happen to them.
That is fantastic.
We don't euthanize at my shelter unless it's absolutely mandatory by a court order. Since I've had this job, I've not euthanized for space, and I don't plan to do so. So I have to work really hard to find good homes by listing, on our Facebook page, but Pet Finder also. And I do application checks that are 3 pages long. and
Pet Finder is, I was made aware of that not too long ago. But tell us just a little bit about Pet Finder, because if you're putting these dogs on that site, tell us a little bit about that too that you're doing, Tanna.
PetFinder.com is a nationwide animal search database. And you have to be a licensed shelter rescue to be able to list animals on there. And people from all over the United States can go on there and look for a particular dog. And that reaches more people than beyond the Facebook fans.
Right.
So,
and beyond our area, right?
Yes. And I've adopted to Nebraska. I've had people drive here for Montana for a specific working dog that I've had at my shelter. So it does a lot of good. I'd say 75% of the time, my dogs get adopted off of just our Facebook page when I list them. If I don't see some applications coming in off the Facebook page, then they're listed over onto the Pet Finder page for more people to see.
Now, walk me through. You've got a dog that's been given up for adoption and is in your shelter. Do you send that out to be DNA tested before it goes on Pet Finder? Or?
No, it doesn't work like that. There's a huge cost involved with DNA testing. It's $60 to be able to do a DNA test. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. They are available for sale if people want to purchase them.
Okay.
It's just a cost. I get them through a shelter discount program.
So if people are thinking, like in my case, and I love animals, but this dog was just a little too much for us. And so I gave her to a friend of mine, and she was great there because she was with somebody all the time. She just had a huge need to be with somebody. And we're gone so much of the time, it just wasn't working. But if I'm wanting to adopt a dog, and I'm thinking, I want something that is pretty quiet, laid back, that type of thing. You can do a DNA testing if I wanted to buy something like that, or to get it from the shelter rather. And you can test them to find out if as they grow up, they're going to be a quieter, more laid back dog.
Absolutely.
And which to me, $60 would be well worth that, just to know peace of mind that I wasn't going to get the dog that ate from my garage into my house.
Exactly. A lot of times, I'm the only one that works at the shelter, so I'm interacting with these dogs, and I know how they came to me, the situation, and so I'm going to assess these dogs. Are they going kennel crazy? How are they with the dog next to them?
Sure.
How are they when a city worker walks by? And so I'm going to always try to match. I want it to be a good fit for the family, and I want it to be a good fit for the dog. And there's times I haven't let adoptions go through because I don't want it to be a failed adoption. And the family's lifestyle may be like this, but I know that this dog is not going to meet that need. Although it looks pretty and all that, it's just not going to be a good fit.
Oh, that's excellent, because it's right person, right animal. And I correlate a lot of things to horses, but sometimes the kids would get a horse and it just wasn't the right fit. It may be great for a different person, but maybe not right for that person. So, and you do the same things with dogs, and I think even cats to some degree, because they have enormous personalities that are always different. Hey, thanks, you guys. I am so excited, and thank you for all you do. You two are terrific people, and I love both of you. You know that.
Thank you. I
Thank you
love
for having us here.
Oh, you're welcome.
And remember, call me for everything real estate. 367-3116.